In this week's portion, Tetzaveh, we continue learning about the design of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and specifically in this week's portion, we learn about how the vestments that the Kohanim are to wear are to be designed and made, and what colors they should be, etc. We're told that Aaron and his sons are to be designated as the Kohanim, the priests, for eternity, and that they are to wear specific vestments depending on whether it's a special sacrifice, a daily sacrifice, etc. One aspect then of reading about their consecration ceremony that is described, that is this unusual, frankly, all of the description of the sacrifices is unusual. It hasn't been done in our tradition for 2,000 years since the temple was destroyed. But one element that is most unusual is that the blood of the animal that is to be sacrificed for the first time ever in the tabernacle is supposed to be put on Aaron's right ear, his right thumb, and his right big toe. And so, as the rabbis comment on these portions about the design and construction of the Mishkan, the rabbis have to try to find some relevance to it, to the reader, even for their time when they hadn't experienced sacrifice in the temple for generations, and let alone for us 2,000 years after the destruction of the temple. What does this design have to do with us as people in 2019 who are trying to find spirituality in the world today? And so the rabbis find a way to derive lessons and relevant teachings from even the most obscure references in the portion. And so why should the blood be put specifically on Aaron's right ear, right thumb, and right big toe? You might understand from context that it's just representative of all parts of his body, which is then supposed to be dedicated to God. But the ear, thumb, and big toe represent different ways in which we follow God's commandments. The ear, so that we can always be listening to God's word. The thumb, so that we can always be doing hands-on activities in the name of God, and the big toe to represent the idea that we should always be walking in God's ways. And so even from this obscure, barbaric, archaic description that we might think is just for pure history's sake, it becomes a more relevant idea of how we should always act as if we are listening, doing, and walking in God's ways. Shabbat Shalom.